Welcome, Mr. Keitani.
Thank you.
Please have a seat. My name is Nelson Makanda. I am the chair of this selection panel, and I want to thank you for showing interest in the position of member of the commission of IEBC, but also to thank you, congratulate you for being shortlisted for the same, and that's why you're here. So feel free. It's a brief interaction just to get to know you, to hear your vision and your profile, so that we can be able to assess your candidature for the position of commission of IEBC. You have a notebook there and a pen for you to use, and sometimes water might be helpful, so feel free.
Thank you.
I want to welcome Linda and my colleagues to introduce themselves. Please, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is Linda Kiome, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this interview session. Karibu sana.
Thank you, madam.
Bwana Obadia, jambo.
Jambo.
Naitwa Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa chombo hili la uteuzi, na karibu.
Asante, Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Caroline Kituku, welcome.
Thank you.
Bwana Keitany.
Yes, Prof.
Adam Zolo, a member of the selection panel.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
Nicodemus Bore, karibu sana.
Asante.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcome.
Asante.
Good afternoon, Mr. Keitani.
Good afternoon to you, madam.
Karibu sana. My name is 𝐃𝐞𝐲𝐿, and I'm a member of the panel.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Keitan.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of the selection panel. We welcome you to this interaction session.
Thank you.
Asante.
Okay, now we'll come to you for you to highlight your profile, identify those things that are significant for us to know, and for the role that you have applied for. Let us know if you're a member of any professional society and if you have received any award. Kindly proceed.
Thank you, Chairman. My name is Obadia Keitany, MBS. I was born in Baringo County, specifically Eldamaravine sub-county. For educational qualifications, I have a BCom and a Master of Business Administration from the University of Nairobi. And a postgraduate diploma in corporate governance from KCA University. For professional qualifications, I'm a holder of a Certified Public Accountant of Kenya, Certified Public Secretary, Certified Internal Auditor, Certified Information Systems Auditor. As you can note, these are professional qualifications which are geared towards promoting accountability and good corporate governance, which are key for the position I've applied for. Now, I'm also a member in good standing of the Institute of Public Accountants of Kenya, Institute of Certified Secretaries of Kenya, and Institute of Internal Auditors of Kenya, and Information Systems Association and Control, that is global in America. Now, for my working experience, I started in 1992 when I was employed in the 10 Kenya Post and Telecommunication Corporation as an internal auditor, and served until 1997, rising from internal auditor to assistant senior internal auditor. In 1995, I led a team which did an audit of and unearthed some fraud, which was involving staff collusion in claims and loans, ensuring that they were having multiple loans and then no recoveries were being done. So when we unearthed, the correct administrative corrections were done, and that is why in my CV you can see I have a commendation from the MD in that period in 1995. Now, from internal audit, I exited to finance from 1997 in credit control, served in credit control, served in budgets, served in project finance, served in assets accounting, and then eventually in final accounts, audits and taxation, up to August 2005. Then I left for greener pastures in Standard Assurance, where I served as my finance manager from August 2005 to August 2007. While there, I helped in forming internal audit function because I realized there was some revenue leakages and we needed to have some control mechanism. So I set up the internal audit function, after which I exited to Lab Trust, that is Local Authorities Pension Trust that time, in 97. In 2007, as head of internal audit and risk manager. So in Lab Trust, which later became CBA Financial Services, I pioneered several activities, including entrenching the risk management framework for the Commission, championing business continuity, championing the OPI, that is Operation Performance Index, which was spearheaded by the KIM, Kenya Institute of Management, which leads, it is a process that leads to the award of the Company of the Year. From Love Trust, I left in January 2016 and joined IEBC as the Director Audit Risk and Compliance. While at IEBC from January 2016, I also assisted in entrenching the risk management framework in the Commission. And also in 2027, I was co-chair in the process called ESAP, Election Security Arrangement Program, where we collaborate with the police in training on election laws and procedures so that we have a peaceful environment devoid of violence during elections. So in the same period, as I was serving as internal auditor in the period 2017-2018, where there were conflicts between the CEO, chairman, and some commissioners, I was able to, as a governance champion, I was able to diagnose clearly and saw that these were governance issues. And I pioneered in drafting a board charter, a commission charter, which clearly delineates, because as we see, under Section 11A of the IEBC Act, it says the role of the commission is formulation of strategy, policy, and oversight. But it doesn't say what is actually oversight, how is it done. So in the board charter, it clearly states those roles. If it is procurement, it is the role of the commission to approve the audit, the manual, procurement procedures, approve the budget, approve the plan, and receive reports frequently. Then from internal audit, I went to finance from January 2019. In finance, while in audit, I had noted that there were control weaknesses in terms of payments, especially legal payments. So I requested the commission to form a task force involving finance and legal services. So we went through and requested all service providers and tell them, can you write to us and indicate how much you owe the commission? Of course, we had our figures aside here. So we told them, lay claim to all the issues that you owe the commission. So in the process, we isolated about 1.2 billion, which was not claimed by anyone, and we were able to write off. Hence, you saw a letter of appreciation there in my CV, and it is also in my file. So that is the context. So in September 2019, I was made the acting deputy CEO. So a role. So I served both as the director of finance and director and Deputy CEO from 2019 to March 2022. I was confirmed. I was appointed to the role of the Deputy CEO in charge of support services in May 2022. It is Deputy CEO support services. Support services includes coordination of the finance function, supply chain, HR, legal services, ICT, and audits. So another issue I wish to highlight to point to this committee is the fact that while the government is now transitioning to accrual accounting, the Commission actually has been on accrual accounting since 2015. So we have had several institutions of coming to benchmark with us, including Parliamentary Service Commission and Controller of Budgets, who have come to benchmark with us in the process of transitioning to accrual-based accounting. Now, I wish also to point out to this panel that the Commission is actually a respected brand in terms of election management. And from 2023 to date, we have been able to host several countries, election management bodies who come to benchmark with us, like Election Commission of Lesotho, they came, Election Commission of Botswana, Election Commission of Malawi, Somalia, and currently we have been inducting the Electoral Commission of South Sudan. So that is the other side of the commission I wanted to make this commission to be aware of. Thank you. So I'm here today to request you for your favor to become a commissioner of IEBC. Thank you.
Thank you. This is where the request is being considered. So you're in the right place. Linda, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Keitani, as we consider your request,
yes,
what new thing are you bringing to the Commission, noting now that you're on the other side of execution of the mandate and the responsibilities that have been given to you? What do you bring to this other side of policy and strategy development?
Thank you. I may not really bring a new thing, but we are going to perfect what we already have. You know, currently what I'm doing is actually implementing what the Commission has passed. Whether you like it or you don't, you have to implement what has been passed. But now I'll be now giving the directives on what actually should be done. And as you have seen from my CV, I'm a governance assumption, so that is what I'll be bringing on board. You have seen I've been chairing several committees, so I have a lot of leadership skills. That is why we have been given all the committees I've led, we have been able to be appreciated and given awards by the Commission. So that is what I bring on board. The other issue I'll be bringing on board is memory and institutional memory and continuity. Given that the incoming Commission, its plate is already overflowing. Given that there have been a gap between when the other Commission existed and now, there are a lot of things. There are over 40 policy requests from management, which are now waiting approval, and they have to, including the draft strategic plan. So if they are starting from the scratch, it will take them a lot of time, given that the dynamics of crew formation will kick in. Not only among themselves as commissioners, but also among commissioners and staff. But for me, I'll be a bridge. When those over 40 papers are brought on board, we participated in passing them. So I'll be able to give them context, so they'll be able to learn much faster to reduce the learning curve. Thank you.
So then, based on your submission, then I am delighted to ask you the next question. So what personal attributes do you have that will make us consider you for the position of the Commission?
Okay, thank you. My personal attribute is that I think even from what I've indicated from my past experience, you can easily see very clearly that I'm a person of great integrity. If you have seen from when I was 3 years into employment, I was able to unearth some things which the MD was able to commend me. Within the commission, you have also seen all the recommendations. Number two, you can see very well that I am a performer. Given a task, I usually accomplish with a lot of excellence, and that is attested to in my CV and also my documents here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
I
you.
wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I want to invite Caroline to ask you some questions. 𝐃𝐞𝐩𝐿, please.
Thank you, Chairman. 𝐃𝐞𝐲𝐿.
Yes, madam.
I want to pick up from something you spoke about, institutional memory
Yes.
and continuity.
Yes.
The NADCO report actually suggested that there should be staggered appointment of IBC commissioners in future. It's aspirational. Now here we are. That's not possible in this cycle we are in. What are some of those this proposal now on staggering the appointment of the commissioners, and where we are, what are some of the things that must be put in place for the incoming thing from your own understanding of the institution, IBC, that you work for, and your own experiences? What should be done to ensure that there is that continuity and memory preservation and knowledge preservation?
Okay.
For the incoming commissioners.
Okay. Of course, it would have been very good if the commission was actually staggered, because there would be continuity. But now that we are here, the best way in ensuring that there is continuity in terms of the memory of the institution is maybe to consider those people who may have served in the commission, or those who are currently serving. You may say, I'm campaigning for myself, but I don't think there is anything wrong to campaign for yourself if it is acceptable. So that is the only way. I don't see other way in which you can continue with your memory.
Hear you. We hear you, and obviously that's a suggestion. That's a one way of doing it.
Yes.
In your own understanding of the institution, supposedly that there were no members who are working right now at the IBC who were successful or who would be picked to be among the commissioners. Okay. What should be done? Like, as now remove yourself from the application process. You are an employee of IBC, you're working, and new commissioners are coming into office. What would you do as the deputy CEO to ensure that there is continuity and memory preservation?
Okay. Oh, thank you very much. We have already done a paper on induction of the new commissioners. And as soon as they are on board, that is what we have actually done. And we are even proposing that if we are able to bring in even other chairmen of commissions from other African countries or all over the world, so that they can come and seek the hands of these people, so that they can be able to learn very fast. There are some commissioners who have been involved in that process. Even within the country, we usually call upon all the commissioners to also come on board and be able to induct them and give them real life experiences, so that they can be able to move faster and catch on board. So that the induction process will be very comprehensive, although it has not been funded, but we are looking around to see whether it can be funded. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So in addition to the induction, how is the knowledge management processes at IBC? How is the documentation processes and the structure of the commission insofar as the mentorship is concerned? How would that look like?
As I've told you, when the commissioners come on board, the first agenda, of course, will be to appoint the vice chair. The second agenda will be to put themselves into the 7 committees that we have. All those committees have their charters. There is also a board charter, so they'll have to go through and go through them so that they can learn very fast what their job will be entailing. Because from the over 40 management papers that we are passed, they will be processed through the respective, if it concerns ICT, they'll go to the ICT committee for them to process. They go through. If there are any issues, they have any issues to add, they can return back to management. Wherever we can craft it, we take it back to them. If it is in order, then they take it to the full plenary, where it will now be passed, and then it is coming down to the secretariat for implementation. So the process is fairly elaborate, and every director is actually the secretary of those committees. So even that secretary will be able to assist the committees, and the CEO and the deputy CEOs also sit in those committees. So we'll be able to take them through very fast.
I'm glad you're using them. Thank you. All the best. And
hoping that they will trust us, because sometimes they come with some attitude that maybe there is something wrong in the secretariat, and they may not want to gel very fast. So it takes time for those group formation issues to settle. Yes.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam 𝐶𝐞𝐻, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Keitani.
Yes, Madam.
Yes, you could very well be one of them, and I hope you will not go with attitude.
Amen.
But should you actually be nominated to be a member of the IEBC, how can you enhance the representation and participation? Those are two: representation and participation of women in IEBC as an institution.
Okay.
In the staff.
Okay.
And your key, the people that you have control over, and in the electoral process activities that you do. So please name four strategies that you will use to improve women's participation and representation, and then also name 4 ways to implement those strategies. 4 ways, 4 strategies, and 4 ways. And the objective is to enhance women's representation and women's participation in IEBC and electoral processes.
Thank you. So in IEBC, I take that it is the employees of the commission, the staff of the commission. One is that we have a deliberate policy to make sure that at least we meet the two that requirement in terms of staff. Even currently, that is how it is. Now, when we form committees to look into various issues, we always make sure that at least the two that principle is observed in all those committees. We usually work by committees and task forces. So we ensure that there is a do that. In terms of employment, we also make deliberate moves to make sure that the issue of the that, not more than that gender rule, is also respected. So I think those are, in terms of the staff, I think that is where we are. So in terms of also promotion, without compromising merit, we also consider that very well, that the that gender principle. That's why even in the deputy CEO positions, there is a lady, there is a man. So it's about 50-50. Now, in terms of representation.
Now, out there. Your clients.
Yes, in terms of representation for our clients, we make sure to adhere to the, like in the last election in the party list, there was a ruling from the Katiba case where they said all those party lists which come to the commission, make sure they adhere to the that gender principle. When they came, we religiously follow that order. Unfortunately, a political party went to court and they said it is unconstitutional for the commission to do that. So in that case, our hands were tied. But all the same, when enforcing the electoral code of conduct, we are very particular in those cases where women are concerned and are disadvantaged. And we usually find very heavily. So we tilt towards the ladies and ensure that they have a fair playing field in terms of enforcement of the electoral code of conduct. Thank you.
Thank you very much. When you find people heavily, do you actually enforce those fines? Do they pay?
Yes, they do actually pay. Like 2017, most of them actually paid. Enforcement of 1 million, all those. There was the one in Makueni, they paid the 1 million. It is only in 2022 where the court said it is unconstitutional, so our hands were tied. We did not enforce the electoral code of conduct.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keitani, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to ask FCPA Tanui to ask you some questions, please, FCPA.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chair. And Opadia, you said support services is in charge of finance, HR, ICT, procurement. Which one have I left?
Audit. Audit.
You are also in charge of audit?
Yes.
Audit report to you?
No, they administratively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I think last month, is it last month or in February when you were in Parliament?
Yes.
And you talked of the 61.7 billion shillings
yes.
that you require
yes.
to conduct the elections.
Yes.
And actually, you are the one who was making that presentation.
Yeah, that's true.
And now you've told me here you're in charge of finance and procurement. Yeah, and the cost of elections actually is related to those two aspects, the funding and the procurement. So what is it that is making our elections that expensive?
Okay, thank you. We have also mulled about that question a lot. And there are several cost drivers to our general election. Of course, one of the overriding drivers is the number of registered voters, which determines the number of polling stations. Now, the key driver, the unit of budgeting is actually the polling station. Why is it the polling station? The polling station because it determines the number of poll officials you are going to employ, temporary poll officials. In every polling station, you have a minimum of 10. You have the PO, the DPO, and 6 clerks and 2 security officers. All those are paid for. Now, and MACU, the number of people in a polling station are capped at 700. So if you reach a polling station where we have 701, you have to break that polling station into 2, so that you have two polling stations. So it means you have added another extra 10 poll officials. So in that budget, for example, the highest item is the payment of temporary poll officials, which is it comes to around 15.7 billion. That is 25% of the 61 billion I'm talking about. Then the next is the enhanced continuous voter registration, which takes about 7 billion. Then the next one is replacement of 𝐃𝐞𝐩𝐿, which takes another 7 billion. Then ballot boxes, which is 6 billion. Then transportation of materials, so 3.8. It comes to 40 billion.
Yeah, you can
now,
stop there. Yeah,
now, I wanted to make a clarification.
Yes.
Now, if you compare to other jurisdictions, for example, most of those which are rated as very cheap, they employ volunteers, or they use government officials, so they don't hire the way we do, or they deploy government vehicles to transport election materials, so they would be much cheaper than us. Thank you.
Actually, that is a question that I want to ask you.
Yes.
Now that you've identified the cost drivers, And are there alternatives? Have you thought as a commission, for the sake of this country, which are the other alternatives that we can use to reduce this cost?
Yes, one of them which you have actually suggested is to give us leeway in determining the number of people in one polling station, not necessarily 700. We can take it to 1,000, and it will substantially reduce the number of polling stations, and it will actually reduce the cost. The other issues are actually legislated, like the use of kits to transmit results. It is legislated, but it's a very expensive exercise. Now, I don't know whether there is any alternative to hiring poll officials. I think we were there before when the DCs used to be returning officers. I don't know whether we want to go back there because it will be much cheaper. The cost of elections will be much cheaper.
So we have to bear it.
I don't know whether it's a cost or an investment in democracy.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, one of the items that have been outstanding in our election is the operationalization or non-operationalization of the IEBC fund. To what extent will that fund help the operations of IEBC?
Thank you for that question. If we have actually an IEBC fund, this one will really assist us, even in terms of reducing that cost. In fact, it is a way actually of, you have reminded me, that is a way of reducing actually costs. Because if our budget does not lapse, or the money which we have been given does not lapse, then we'll be able to be funded throughout the election cycle. If we are funded throughout the election cycle, for example, this enhanced voter registration, which we require a lot of money within a short period, we'll be able to do it throughout the electoral cycle. We'll be able to register in the registration centers, very close to the people. You know, currently, if the continuous voter registration was on, you can only go to the constituency headquarters, which is sometimes very far, and most people will not find it a priority to go there. But if it was next to the shopping center, most people will actually be able to register. Number two, if you give us funds very close to the election, you know, all the suppliers know that you have no option, you have to conduct the elections. So they can even hike the prices, and there is nothing you can do. But if we are able to buy in advance, we are able to negotiate even for discounts because of the quantities involved. So this fund will actually assist us a lot.
Yeah, I would be interested more, but lastly,
yes,
what is the role of framework contracting in helping us reduce the cost of elections in this country?
Thank you. In fact, that is, in the last election, that is what actually assisted us in making sure that we procured items on time. Framework contracting will assist us a lot in terms of saving on the cost, because you are able to lock the prices in advance. What will be remaining is only requesting for the quantities required. So you can be able to do the procurement much earlier, but without indicating the quantities. But you have a contract saying when we make the request, this will be the price, which is actually locked in advance, even if it is 3 years in advance. So that would be very good.
Thank you. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. 𝐃𝐞𝐩𝐿, you are making this job look very lucrative.
Thank you, Chairman. It is not a very easy job.
But for those who have not come for interview, now they will go into praying. They need to win the favor of this panel because of that budget. 6 billion for ballot boxes.
Ballot papers.
And ballot boxes?
Ballot boxes, the other election materials, I think they are coming to around 3.1 billion.
Okay.
Yeah. Including the ballot boxes. Ballot boxes we usually don't buy for all the polling stations because they can serve for more than one election. Okay. So we only buy a few replacements.
Okay.
Yes.
We were told here that you can repurpose the 𝐃𝐞𝐻 kits.
𝐃𝐞𝐻 kits?
So that you don't have to buy new ones.
No, according to our technical expertise, those ones which we put in 2017, they cannot be repurposed. Because items which will have served for now 10 years, it will not be able to repurpose, although they can do other things. We can even donate to schools. They are still workable for other things, but not for the purpose in which it is intended for.
Okay, Evans Msati, please.
Thanks so much, Chair. Obadia.
Yes.
I know we have worked with you, we have worked with political parties. There's in the subcommittees, there's a subcommittee that deals with the PPLC.
Yes.
Maybe you can mention some of the subcommittees you have, and then maybe we can take it up from
Yeah,
there.
the one which deals with PPLC is Legal Affairs, Compliance, and Political Parties Liaison Committee. The other one is Finance and Supply Chain Committee. The other one
let's now focus on that one, the one which deals with the PPLC.
Okay.
We have had challenges before, and you have seen that the candidates who have come before you, everybody is pursuing as a stakeholders, political parties. Do you ever allocate any budget for engaging those political parties or PPLC in IEBC?
Yes, we have been making proposals to have that function elevated. Unfortunately, we have not been allocated much. However, I understand there has not been proper engagement with political parties. It is one of the weaknesses that we have. And hopefully, if you consider me for this position, that is an area we ought as a commission, that is an area we ought to address because you are the main stakeholders.
Thanks so much. Now, that takes me back to the paper that you have prepared about the induction. Now, I hope when you were mentioning the group formation issues, did you mean the Bruce Tuckman is model?
No, what I mean is about the issue of forming the stages in group formation.
The forming, storming,
norming, storming,
all that.
And performing and then adjourning.
Yes. By the time now you settle and you start working,
yes,
you realize there's another devil here which is dragging you behind. What will you do? Because you have already gone through the stages, now you have started working. What will you do if you find there's another maybe something dragging you behind for in the name of we have been here, you will come and go, despite the fact that you have been one of them. You know, that is something that I'm very concerned about.
Yes. Now, I think you are alluding to maybe the commission staff having an attitude saying, you commissioners, you are just coming, but you will go the next. I don't think that is, we don't have, the commission staff don't have that attitude. Whenever the commission comes on board, we give them all the cooperation they require. That is why after completely settling and assessing all the staff, they completely gel.
Very good. Now that you have given that assurance, I'm sure as Kenyans will be moving. Now, from where you sit, you are given an opportunity and you are a commissioner. Some of the issues that have been, when we have been engaging, you say maybe you throw the back at the commissioners. Now you are going to be there. What could you do different from what you have been doing?
Like what specific issue?
The specific issue like voter registration, the regulations and other things, because you mentioned about the legal and
yes. No, I've said what we have noticed that is there has not been proper engagement with the political parties that I accept as our main stakeholders. There has not been proper engagement between the commission, even our role in the PPLC. I don't think it has been given that prominence the way it requires. So I've said, if I'm considered and we are with our fellow commissioners, maybe I will not be able to serve in the PPLC. I will be able to impress on them the fact that, in fact, in that induction exercise, we have put that the commissioners one of the areas they have to engage in, one of the first areas they have to pay a courtesy call is actually PPLC.
Thanks so much, Keitan, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Fatuma, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Keitani,
Yes, madam.
thank you for your insights and having had a very good career in your work. If you are given a chance, how would you evaluate the key elements that should be included in the national communication policy to ensure that the IEBC achieves consistent, inclusive, and transparent engagement with its electoral stakeholders throughout the electoral cycle?
Thank you. I think communication is also one area where we have not cracked it as a commission, because there are so many things we do right, but we are unable to reach the stakeholders to tell them what we have actually done. So that is an area which will require a lot of revamping. If it means elevating the directorate to director level so that there is more exposure, assigning a commissioner that role so that it becomes the face of the commission. Trying to also utilize social media a lot in terms of like using like chatbots. So that
I would like you to focus on the policy issue.
Okay.
On ensuring that throughout its consistency, transparency, engaged interaction, just policy.
Yes.
The activities have been taken care of, but at that level, policy.
Yes. So we have a policy on communication, which I think may not be serving the purpose for which it was intended. So that is something which may need to be reviewed, taking into consideration the views of all the other commissioners, so that we ensure that there is proper communication throughout the election cycle. Yeah, communicating. So I think we need to review that communication policy paper.
Are there any specific elements that you think should be included in that national policy? I'm looking for your insights around.
Oh, okay. Now, if we have done some risk analysis and we have known these are the areas which usually come up, so those are the areas in which should be addressed in that policy document.
Usually, most of the areas in terms of policy and strategy where you will pick most of these shortfalls,
yes,
are from the election petitions, the reports that were done.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
I was trying to see if there are those particular approaches that you think that are very specific to address, like issues of public trust.
Yes.
Addressing, effective and consistent engagement of stakeholders.
Yes.
Maybe even clearly mapping them out. Those are the kind of elements that I'm trying to see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because we have mapped out all the stakeholders. Maybe we have not mapped out in terms of what are their communication needs, so that we can be
Okay, we can proceed.
Okay, I think those are the main issues I can think of for now.
There's what is called information. There's what is called information packaging.
Okay.
For specific clients.
Yes.
What do you have to say to this?
Yes, that is what I said. We have mapped our stakeholders in terms of what we require, but not in terms of a communication, specific communication to our stakeholders. So information packaging is actually tailoring the information to speak to particular requirement of certain stakeholders. So which we have not done. I agree. And we should be able to, together with the other commissioners, we should be able to see how we can crack it. Thank you.
Thank you, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to invite Nicodemus, please.
Chaitan,
yes.
You have worked for IEBC for quite some time.
Yes, from 2016 to now.
Yeah, that's around 10 years.
Yeah, 9 years.
Yeah, so what do you think ails IEBC in terms of trust among the public?
Or the issue of trust with the commissioner? I think we need to look at the context in which the environment it operates. In the electoral process, we have several players. We have the political players. We have the political system itself. The way mobilization or in the political sphere. Now, in this context of the winner take all, the situation becomes so polarized. It becomes ethnic mobilization. So it becomes us versus them. So as a referee, you cannot avoid the negative things which come out of the game, out of the play. And political players, they deliberately delegitimize the referee. You can see even this process has already started being delegitimized. So it started way before even the commission is like now. This process has started being criticized. Imagine by the time those commissioners are even taking the oath, their public trust maybe will be around 40%, and they have not done anything at all by themselves. And then Kenyans stand back and say, why does IEBC doesn't have any trust? And it is known very clearly where all this has originated. So it is a situation where we need to think carefully as a country, whether we have the correct systems in place or we are using the wrong systems to cure the wrong things. That's my take. Thank you.
So given a chance to serve as a commissioner of IEBC, what, like the first 100 days, like most leaders say, will you do to improve the trust levels of Kenyans?
The trust level cannot, I can assure you, it cannot be cured within 100 days. It will take a long time for Kenyans to see, and the decisions you make as a commission for them to have to trust you, if they trust you. But Kenyans trust their political leaders more than the commission. So it will take a lot of reaching out to the political leaders, and if they accept, we'll have a better working environment for all of us.
Maybe to take you away from the trust issues, the biggest polling center in Kenya, which one is that?
It is in Embakasi, one of the Embakasis, so which has around 52 polling stations. Yeah?
Is it Umoja Primary?
Yes, which has around 52 polling stations.
There is a suggestion you gave that the polling stations needs to have staggered, maybe, or not a fixed number depending on the size of the polling center.
Yes.
Now, would you suggest that, for example, all urban polling centers and stations should have more than 1,000 polling stations should have more than 1,000, while the rural can be fixed to a certain number?
Yes, what I said, it should not necessarily be fixed in law. Let it be an administrative issue by IEBC. So that given the registration figures in every registration center, we shall be able to say this is the number of people who have registered in this center. Let us put that the maximum to be maybe 1,000. Maybe in another one, if you put it at 1,000, at least you will cover so many. But the problem again is the distance in which the people might cover to go. So we are saying let us not fix it at in law, but let it be an administrative question for the commission to consider, so that we can reduce the number of polling stations.
So that means that then you have to gazette each polling center with the number of people who are voting there to avoid discrepancies in terms of counting the vote, because eventually what has the 700 cured is the issue of ballot stuffing. So if somebody knows that this is 700, no matter what you do, the number of people who in that polling station will not reach more than 700. But if you open it up, that means I can bring my ballots and stuff and say that the number of people here are more than 1,000.
Okay, now, two issues there. Number one is that, of course, we'll be able to gazette the maximum number in every polling station. So it doesn't mean that it will be just open, everybody working there and voting. It will be gazetted and known, these are 1,000, these are 700, like that in the last day. Number two, the issue we alluded to in terms of ballot stuffing, that is currently not possible because you are identified biometrically. So unless you come to be identified biometrically, you cannot vote. So ballot stuffing, that one ended long time ago with the use of the printed register. Thank you.
Thank you. I know Olo will have a question for you, but I leave it there so that Olo can take it up from there.
Okay.
We are the only two people who are between you and the member of a commission.
Thank you.
I suspect that Olo would like to ask you a question, but I'm wondering, I've been thinking about, I noticed that you come from Baringo, and there was a school called 𝐃𝐞𝐩𝐮𝐭𝐲, which was claimed to be a polling station. Do you know anything about it? 𝐃𝐞𝐩𝐿𝐻𝐻.
No, I don't.
It was claimed that it was a polling station, and the school doesn't exist.
No, I'm not aware of that myself.
Did you see that news item?
There are a lot of misleading news items about IEBC. So,
okay, Professor, do you want to take it up from there?
Obadia 𝐃𝐞𝐩𝐮𝐭𝐲.
Yes, Prof.
Don't listen to Bore. I'm a very good man. And in the Bible, the meaning of Obadia?
No, I know he's a minor prophet.
Minor prophet, servant of God.
Yes.
And we are in a holy week. So we'll remain on holy grounds. There won't be any unholy grounds as we engage. In 2013, before you joined, did you ever hear the colloquium, 9th candidate?
9th?
Because there were 8 presidential candidates. Then after the results came, there was a colloquium, the 9th candidate.
Yes, I heard about it.
What did
it was I think about the spoil votes.
And did you hear what the public explanation, whether it was fake or not, was about that 9th candidate?
No, I don't think I can remember properly.
Let me remind you what was said there.
Yes.
That because of the 700 cap, there were so many votes in many polling stations beyond 700. And everything that tried to enter, the computer would kick them out. Hence the many spoiled votes. hence the colloquium ninth candidate. Whether real or not, I'm just telling you, that's the nature of politics. But I'm more interested in this, at least for clarification. This board charter, when did you or the secretariat, just remind us, how did it come about?
No, I drafted it myself, personally myself, and shared it with the CEO. I think it sometime in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, I drafted it, shared it with the CEO for his input, and then he transmitted it to the commissioners. Yeah, for their input and then eventual approval.
And it was adopted?
It took time to be adopted.
When was it adopted?
I think it was approved in 2023, but it was there as a draft.
In 2023?
Yes.
By 3 commissioners or by 7 commissioners?
I think 3 commissioners.
If a new commission comes in, you want that one to be adopted by the 3 commissioners?
No,
who had a boardroom rupture with the other 4, where you sit.
Yes.
If you were to be a commissioner,
yes,
you developed that board charter way before.
Yes.
But it is adopted at a time in which there has just been a boardroom rupture by 3 commissioners who were on one side, including the chair. Would you want that one revisited, given that history?
No. In fact, what you are currently doing is actually we are reviewing it, and it will be part of the documents which we'll present the commission when they come, because we are incorporating even the suggestions by the Supreme Court on the roles of each commissioner. So we are reviewing. So
but by the time, you're saying by the time it was adopted,
yes,
the Supreme Court had already made its ruling.
Yes, I think they of course they realized some of the issues the Supreme Court was talking about was contained in that charter.
Okay.
So we are reviewing it. Currently it is under review, and it is part of the documents which will be presented for the entire commission to adopt, the full commission. If they adopt or they want to make addition, that.
So what's the status? Is it an adopted document? Or?
It is adopted, but we are reviewing now. You review an adopted document.
Even before it is put to the test, you're already reviewing it, because I don't think it has been put to the test yet.
No, but if you realize that there are some gaps in it, which you need to revamp it, I think it is in order. And then it is adopted. It is even an opportunity for it to be adopted afresh by the entire commission.
Okay, I like the word afresh.
Yes.
Because you are saying it will be a document before the new commissioners. IEBC, you yourself inferred on the differences that led you to develop this board charter that was finally adopted, and that might have to be adopted afresh. We know in Kenya here that there has been the Kriegler Commission, that there have been the 2010 Constitution, that there has been the electoral laws of 2016, and many others. Yet we still end up in the same place. Either the chair and the secretary are fighting, or have too much camaraderie, or there is a split among the commissioners. There are commissioners running to exile. What is it in Obadia Keitany, a governance specialist, that you will bring to the boardroom to bring a halt to this vicious cycle?
Okay. Thank you. I don't think it will be a solo issue for one to just solve like that. It will take the entire commission, because if you look at the structure, the structure, the way the commission is structured, even by law, it is both executive. When it is performing its role as a commission, like appointing the returning officers, announcing results, declaring the results, it is operating as an executive. And you also have an executive secretary. So there might be room for friction. However, it will take a lot of soberness and level-headedness. And you see, these are people who are in the office every day with the secretariat. You cannot say you are oversighting every day the secretariat. So it will take a lot of soberness, a lot of self-restraint and maturity for you not to be tempted to micromanage secretariat. And if you do that, that is when conflict will start. So you, as a commission, we have to really know what is our remit and restrict ourselves to our remit as a commission. So I cannot say I'll be able to enforce that on my own, but at least I'll be able to bring that perspective so that we can be able to debate and agree with fellow commissioners on our role as a commission vis-a-vis the role of secretariat. Thank you.
From where I teach as a classroom teacher, the bureaucracy, wherever it is, be it in the executive, be it in parliament, be it in the judiciary, be it in the ministries. In fact, the joke is that one minister went and wanted to change everything, and the bureaucrat said, tumeona wangapi, wewe pia utaenda tu. 𝐊𝐤𝐻𝐿𝐻𝐿 has been a member of the secretariat by his own admission, and others that have appeared before us from the secretariat, is that the commissioners come and they have a lot of learning curve that they have to go, which is natural and expected, given that they are not necessarily election experts as such. 𝐊𝐤𝐻𝐿𝐻 joins, coming from the secretariat into a commissioner, and is the only one who has joined from the secretariat. Is there a possibility that 𝐊𝐷𝐷𝐿, the way he said that the other commissioners usually come and look at the secretariat, that with an attitude, utaangalia hao commissioners, nyinyi mnajua nini? Hata mimi nimechora hii board charter, mimi ndio nilichora. Is there that possibility?
No. There is no that possibility at all. Me, I am a colloquial person and operate cooperatively with my fellow. I don't have that attitude to look down upon them saying you don't know anything. Of course, they know a lot. The fact that they have been given that position as commissioners, there is a lot they are contributing also to the table. So there is no way you can just dismiss them and say you don't know anything. No. That is not the way to go.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay, do you have two questions?
Sure, but yeah, in one of your pitches to us today, you said you are a governance expert. You usually have a high school session. I'm sure you've been watching TV.
Yes.
Normally in governance, you can talk of the 4 C's of governance, which would include capacity, convergence, complementarity, control. When you're talking of governance in a public sector area as the IEBC, there are 4 P's. Just give me 2 P's.
4 P's.
Yeah, I just want 2. The same way I told you there are 4 C's: capacity, convergence, complementary, and control. I've now shifted to P's. I don't want 4, I just want 2.
I think you can pass that one.
All right.
Yes.
Let me give you more options now that you've decided to pass that one. In these categories, where do you want the question from? Economy and innovation, wildlife and environment, culture, sports and languages, geography and landmarks, and history and politics.
Maybe history and politics.
History and politics.
Yes.
How many provinces did Kenya have before the promulgation of the Constitution 2010?
8 including Nairobi.
Name another 2.
Rift Valley, Nyanza, Coast, Northeastern.
Thank you, Chair.
Well, Mr. Obadia Keitany, we are coming to the close of our session with you. I don't know if they have any comment or question to make.
Thank you, Chairman, and this panel. I wish to thank you very much for considering the staff of the Commission in your shortlisting. I think this is the first selection panel which has considered quite a number of staff from the Commission for that position. I think it is commendable because even if we don't make it to the Commission eventually, at least you have heard us, and the Commission has heard and seen and the public has heard and see the caliber of staff that we have within the Commission. For that, I wish to thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. We indeed have encountered very excellent men and women from the Commission who are election experts and doing their work pretty well. We have learned a lot, and we want to thank you, both your leadership and that of the CEO, in keeping the Commission intact in the absence of the commissioners. And we hope that whichever side you are, when that time comes, that you will receive the commissioners that will come your way, since the CEO is not here to receive this message, that you will receive them well.
Thank you.
Asante. Your certificates with the gentleman at the door.
Okay.
He'll give them to you. The notebook and the pen and the water are yours. Feel free to pick them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, quickly. Media again, thank you very much for the work you have been doing. We appreciate you for allowing Kenyans to participate and to follow and to hear and learn. We are grateful, and Kenyans are grateful indeed. We end it here and shall resume tomorrow at 8:30, between 8:30 and 8:45 tomorrow. So, karibuni sana tomorrow again. Thank you.